A 90-year-old man and his 86-year-old wife killed in a major crash this morning in Peoria.
This happened at 87th Avenue and Cactus, shutting down the road in the area for hours today. Ashley Rodriguez joins us live from the scene with the details. Ashley, there was speed and impairment in this. Who was to blame? Do they know?
They're still investigating that. Speed was definitely a factor. I'm going to show you what's left of the Ford Focus. It was hit pretty hard, but I can tell you any fatal collision is tragic. But when you know the ages of these people, 90 years old, 86 years old, a married couple, it's just so sad. And then when we arrived today, it was a really gruesome scene. The body was still in the car. They hadn't been able to get it out because the car was so badly hit. Let me show you behind me. This is the Ford Focus that the couple was inside of. So, John, when you say speed or impairment, I mean, when they were hit very, very hard. And of course, that's under investigation, but we just want to know how this crash could have happened at this intersection at 9 in the morning. And if you look at video, you can see, I mean, this road doesn't get a lot of traffic. It's about 40 miles per hour speed limit. It's surrounded by residential neighborhoods. Police still investigating, but they do say that the Ford Focus was attempting to turn left when they collided with the GMC Sierra. It's not clear who's at fault, but the truck involved was also badly smashed. That driver, though, was able to survive. The white car, as you saw, not so much. The two people fatally injured in just an instant.
Still kind of looking at everything. We're looking at traffic cameras in the area. We're talking to witnesses. Our traffic detectives are on scene. They're going through all of the pieces of evidence, and they're looking at everything, whether impairment was involved, whether speed was involved. So they're going through all the pieces of evidence right now to determine what exactly led up to this collision.
So back here live, you can see that they're getting this GMC Sierra off the scene now. They're moving it on to a tow truck there. You can see how badly it was smashed, but I was able to talk to an eyewitness who was on the scene when this crash occurred. He ran to the Ford Focus hoping to help the couple, and he said that he believes that this driver of the truck is at fault. He said he must have been going something like 100 miles per hour, and again, was only able to walk away from the scene with just a cut on his hand. Meanwhile, this couple was killed, and they have been identified as Marjorie and Dale Cusrow. We'll let you know what comes of the investigation. Very tragic. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, Ashley, thank you for that. One person is dead tonight after a house fire in Sun City. This is new video from Skyfox showing the damage after the fire was put out. You can see the flames there from that photo from earlier on the right-hand side of your screen. It happened this morning near US 60 and 99th Avenue. And when the crews got there, they found heavy smoke, heavy flames coming from inside the home. As firefighters made their way inside, they found a woman and a dog trapped. Crews were able to get them out. The woman was taken to the hospital where she died. No word tonight on the dog's condition. We're working to figure that out. It's unclear how the fire started.
New video tonight of a fiery crash involving a tanker truck. This happened this morning near 57th Avenue and Camelback. This is in Glendale. Police say 27-year-old Josh Denton purposely drove his truck or his car into that tanker in an attempt to take his own life. When officers arrived, a struggle broke out with Denton. He was eventually taken into custody, facing multiple charges, including arson and aggravated assault. This was a truck carrying oxygen, by the way. No one involved in that collision was hurt, amazingly. We are tonight, though, learning more about the pilot killed in the Scottsdale plane crash earlier this week. He was a private pilot flying for rock star Vince Neil.
But the plane had trouble upon landing and veered off course, slammed into a parked jet off the runway there. Fox 10's Brian Webb has more after speaking with the pilot's daughter. Brian.
Well, the NTSB is investigating and asking any witnesses to come forward as we take a look at the actual plane behind me in the beginning stages of this investigation. But the pilot's daughter, who lives 1,500 miles away from here, has a pretty good idea of what happened, that her father did everything he could to save as many lives as possible. Final moments of the fatal flight at Scottsdale Airport and the crash that killed longtime pilot Joe Vitosky.
Once it came out in the news that it was Vince Neil, we're like, oh yeah. my dad's been flying for him for years.
Vitoski's daughter Jana spoke with me by phone from Gulfport, Mississippi. She says her father flew choppers in the Marines, then became a private airplane pilot for some 60 years, flying high-profile people and medical patients all across the country. And at 78 was still mentally and physically fit, according to Jana.
You still have to go through all these, physicals and other things. They won't let you fly if you can't pass them. Well, he passed all those things with flying colors.
The Learjet, owned by rock star Vince Neil and piloted by Vitoski, collided with a parked plane on Monday afternoon after arriving from Austin, Texas. A second pilot was also on board, along with 2 passengers. 2 people were critically injured and a third was also hurt, but Vitoski was the only one killed.
I have no doubt in my mind that the reason these other 4 people are alive is because of his skill and his decision-making at a split second.
But this story is about more than a crash and the rock star who owns the plane. It's about a daughter losing a father.
Well capable of, doing anything and everything he could to save as many people as he could. I know that was his first thought, and you know what I mean? He was going to carry it out to the end, and he did.
Jana tells me authorities will do an autopsy on her father and that he will eventually be buried in his hometown outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Live in Scottsdale, Brian Webb, Fox 10 News.
Republican Karen Taylor Robeson is running for governor. It's official. In a social media post, Robeson pointed to an endorsement from President Trump and said she was running for governor to support the president, lock down the border, and create jobs. Robeson ran for governor in 2022, but lost in the Republican primary to Kari Lake. Congressman Andy Biggs has also said he plans on running as well.
Well, we're still tracking some winter weather headed our way.
Meteorologist Erica Horvatine is here with a closer look at the weather alerts tonight. Erica.
All right, guys. Well, we're starting to see the next storm near us in Arizona, but it's still well out to the northwest. So we really haven't seen much precipitation actually make it to the ground today. But you can see that storm is spinning off the coast of Northern California and already bringing some precipitation onto the coastline. That storm's then going to track through northern Arizona, and as it does, we'll start to see some rain and snow, at least starting tomorrow afternoon and evening in the northwest part of the state. It will then spread east as we go through our Friday, and it will be done by Saturday. But you can see the future precipitation totals are looking the highest in the high country, whereas down here in the valley, they taper off as you go further south. The metro area is right on the edge of that precipitation. It looks like we should see some, but it's going to be all around light for us compared to up north. In fact, up north, there are winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. That winter storm warning for the Kaibab Plateau begins tomorrow at noon through 6 p.m. Friday, expecting 8 to 24 inches of snow. Then we'll be seeing the rest of these winter weather advisories begin tomorrow at 6 p.m. So later in the day until 6 p.m. on Friday, snow is expected above 7,000 feet, and 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts may lower visibility and create difficult driving conditions. That ranges from Flagstaff all the way down toward the White Mountains. There's also this winter weather advisory that will take over the I-40 corridor from 12 a.m. Thursday until 6 p.m. Friday with 40 mile per hour wind gusts and snow. So conditions will definitely worsen by Friday morning. They're not going to be too bad tomorrow. Snow levels at 7,100 feet. That's kind of high. And so it will be rain for the most part and then snow for the higher elevations. By Thursday night, the snow level is actually even higher. So a lot of rain expected Thursday night, except for the snow in the highest terrain spots. Then by Friday, those snow levels will drop. So we'll be seeing our heaviest snow, especially during the morning and midday hours, and then scattered rain showers for the lower elevations throughout the day.